Yeah. Coke fed, for some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls resting, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, not dead, she tweet, I guess she confessed, she thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best to get spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as I rise like fireworks. Smell through the bag, don't touch my perk.
Yo, hey everybody, welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game show. And I know it's late, and I apologize for the lateness of the show, but it is what it is. The Thunder, of course, lost tonight 121-119. And I want to say how proud I am of our guys, considering this is their 9th game in 14 days, their 4th game in 6 days. We're just exhausted. And, we had got up on them 22 and we let them come back in. And a lot of it had to do with, we started the second quarter with SGA, Isaiah Joe, Carlson, Jang, and J. Will. That's who you started. Now remember, no J-Dub, no Chet, no Dort, no Caruso. Okay, those are 4 of your major contributors and 3 of your contributors this year because J-Dub hasn't played yet this year. But, think about that. No J-Dub, no Chet, no Dort, no Caruso. And we had beaten this team 16 times in a row, which made me nervous because we had beaten them 16 times in a row. So that made me a little nervous from the simple fact that we had beat them so many times in a row. Eventually, they're going to beat us. Okay, number one. Number two, our depth is only 10 deep. It's not 15 deep. Our bench is not 15 deep. And when you're having to play Jang and you're having to play Carlson and you're having to play them that many minutes, and Carlson killed us in that one stretch because I will see what his number is in a minute. But I know he missed, 4 or 5, we had 4 or 5 possessions where we got nothing because he couldn't convert. And, granted, we were asking a lot from him tonight. And this is his first time I was really asking this much from him. But no Chet, no J-Dub, no Caruso, no Dort. But especially no Caruso, no Dort, no Chet. They were just pounding us inside. Hey, Austin, how you doing? Great effort tonight with everything. Yeah, especially with everything considered. But I want to know how that's not a reckless closeout in the last shot. Joe lands on him. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but my deal is this. The fact we got the call at all, number one. And number two, one thing that I preach on my kids, and I cannot wait till tomorrow when I get to talk to them about it, something I scream at them about, you have to know where you are on the court when you're shooting a 3. I get on them all the time about it. Hey, know where your feet are. And Isaiah Joe wasn't paying attention to where his foot was. So instead of having 3 free throws, he only had 2 because he wasn't paying attention. Okay? Because he caught it and he stepped into it, and he wasn't paying attention to where his feet were, where he was on the court. You got to know where you are on the court. You have to. But that being said, the fact that Kaysen did what he needed to do to get a rebound and then kick it out, and for us to even have a shot, that was a huge, huge statement for us because the one thing about it is we're now 8-1, but the fact that we're 8-1 and barely lost and we still fought through everything. In fact, I look at this stretch of games, and this is probably the most games we'll play in a row. We may have to do this one more time. But the fact that you're playing 9 games in 14 days, 4 games in 6 days. And this is a road trip, remember. We had to play Clippers, then we had to turn around and play the Blazers, and then we skip a day and we have to play the Kings, which is one of our toughest rivals. So that being said, you got to appreciate what the coach was trying to do, trying to rest people. But the second half, I don't like it when he changes the lineup. You start A.J. Mitchell in the first half, to start the game, and then you start Isaiah Joe in the second half. What are you doing? I don't like that. With 3 of the 4 starters, without 3 starters, 4 of them. Right, that's what I said earlier, Austin. I was talking about that we had, excuse me, that we were missing Chet, Caruso, and Dort. That's our defense. That's our defense. And you're missing 2 starters. Okay? Now, J-Dub hasn't played all year, so I'm not really counting him. That's why I kind of took him out, even though we do miss him, but we hadn't played. We're 8-1 without him, and we're better than that without him. We can win without J-Dub during the season. In the playoffs, we cannot win without him, and I've said this before. We can win without him except in the playoffs. You have to have his ability to play defense, to knock down shots, and just to be able his presence on the floor and what he does. So that part of it right there, I do appreciate our effort and what we did, and then what Coach Dagnow had to deal with. But that being said, still, you start the second quarter. The score is what's the start of second quarter? 40. What is that? 40-21 is the start of the second half, start of the second quarter. Or is that 46-21? That's 40-21. And then you start that, what you started, SGA, Joe, Carlson, Jang, and J. Will. You start the second quarter with that. And they went on a run. And I talk about this all the time, and a lot of people just don't. They think I'm harping and I'm mad. You can't give away possessions. You can't give away possessions. You give away possessions, it costs you. It just does. You can't give away possessions. And when you keep those guys out there so long, now I will say, to Dagnow's credit, he did put SGA in with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and he very rarely ever does that. But he felt the game going away, and SGA just did not have his stuff tonight. He just didn't. But that being said, I thought, we're in our first 10 games, I thought we were going to be 8-2, 7-3 at worst. Now, our guy, Nathan Taylor, my co-host whenever he does the show early, he said we'd be 10-0. 9-1. That's what he thought. 8-2 at the absolute worst in his mind, but he thought 9-1, 10-0 would be what he thought it would be. I did not think so. I thought we'd at least lose at least 2. I figured one of these 3 games we would lose, simply because that's just a lot to ask from us to do at that particular time, at this particular time in the series, in the season. Blazers tonight, 121, 119. The Thunder are now 8-0. Our 8-game win streak comes to an end. Blazers 19-43, the Thunder 15-38 from 3, 40.9 from the field. We were 41.8. We out-rebounded them by 2, and then Pips points in the paint. We did that by 8, and then, of course, we had 15 turnovers, which is very characteristic for our team. They had 18 turnovers. Blazers and the Thunder, Blazers outscored us, our bench, 32-21. In the box scoring, Isaiah Hartenstein, 21 minutes, 10 points. But here's my thing. This is the thing that bothered me the most when I look at it. How many fouls that we had? Okay? How many personal fouls we had? 27 personal fouls. 27. And this is what killed us. I think this is what it was. SGA with 5 fouls. Wiggins with 5 fouls. Cason Wallace with 5 fouls. And then Ihart and then A.J. Mitchell both had 3. So in our starting 5, we had 21 of the 27 fouls were on our starting 5. Now, that's either from not moving your feet and using your hands a lot, being tired, because usually when you foul a lot, it's because you're tired. You're not moving your feet, so it's easier just instead of giving them a bucket, you go ahead and foul. And that probably has a lot to do with it. But once again, you still got to say this is a tougher stretch for us to start the season. But you are the world champions, and nothing is easy. You look at what in football, what the Chiefs have to do, and who they have to play. You gotta do it. You gotta play people sometimes, so it doesn't matter. You gotta play your way through it just to get through. But Isaiah Hartenstein, 31 minutes, 10 points, 11 boards, another double-double, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 turnovers. He had some bad turnovers tonight. He really did. But I just think he's tired. I think they're all tired. I really do. SGA, I know he's tired. 38 minutes. 35 points in 38 minutes, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, no steals, no blocks, 10 for 26, which is terrible, 3 for 5 for 3, which is nice. His three-point percentage is starting to come up, 12 for 13 from the free throw line, which is good once again. But, 10 for 26, he's missing shots that he normally makes, and he's just tired. He's played a lot of minutes, and, him having to play that many minutes tonight is hard. Cason Wallace, 36 minutes. By the way, love me some Case in his effort. I still think he's got to shoot the ball better. He's got to shoot the ball. Jay Will, you've got to shoot the ball better, bro. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. 1 for 5 from three. You're wide open. Nobody's guarding you. You have to make those shots. That's the thing that really I've been harping on quite a bit. Is that simple fact. AJ Mitchell, 31 minutes, 21 points. I thought AJ played pretty good. I just don't like the fact that when SJ's on the floor, he tries to take the game over at the end. I don't like that. I want him to pass the ball and be the second guy and knock down threes. But he's determined that he's going to take the ball and score, which I don't mind him going left. If they're going to try to double team and him going left and they give him that left hand, which he's going to get an and one or score 85% of the time. But it's when he's trying to go right and throwing up. I just don't like give the damn ball up, set, catch the three, and shoot. But he's trying to make a name for himself, and I get that. This is the time that he does what he's doing, and I understand that, okay? I really, truly, truly understand what he's doing. It's just, to me, it just bugs the hell out of me because it's like, bro, pass the ball. You don't have to be the facilitator. If you'll do that, that will help us out immensely, in my mind, okay? In my mind. Jay Will, 21 minutes, 3 points, 1 for 5 from three. Bro, you got to make those open shots. He makes those shots, it makes a difference. Barnheiser, I like the kid. He's just not ready. Jang, 20 minutes. We're having to rely on Jang for 20 minutes. And this is what I was talking about Brandon Carlson. He was 0 for 4. 0 for 1 from three. Wasn't even close on his three-point shot. And that's what he's known for. We want to come out. He won a game for us last year, knocking down threes. But when you have to get 28 minutes from those two, and then Isaiah Joe, 4 for 12, and he played okay. I have no problem with that. But he played 12. But he played decent. But you still got to knock down threes. You got to know where you are on the court, bro. But when you look at what the Thunder did, it's just hard. But I do want to give the shout out to the Blazers, simply because of what they did to us. They came in, they played hard. Let me see. Somebody says the fact that these MFs lost to the Trailblazers of all teams is embarrassing at AF. What a joke, OKC, laugh out loud. No, I get that, but like I had said, this is what I'm saying. And I get what you're saying, the frustration, because it frustrates me too that we lost this game to the Blazers. But I knew that we would lose one out of these three. We'd either lose to the Clippers, we lose to the Blazers, or we lose to the Kings. We were going to lose one of those three, if not 2 out of 3, okay? Because of the simple fact this is the end of a long run, okay? Think about this. We played 9 games in 14 days. That's a lot of basketball. Plus, we've been on the road twice. Remember, we were at the Pacers, at the Hawks, at the Mavs. So that's 3 games in 4 days. Now we're playing the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Kings. That's three games in 4 days again. So if you can come out of those 6 games, if you can come out of that 5-1, out of that stretch, that says a lot. But I agree. We had beat the Blazers 16 times, and I sent that a message to some people in our chat. That worried me because we beat them 16 times in a row. Eventually, you're going to lose. Okay, eventually you're going to lose, and that's what happened. But I got to appreciate what effort the players gave tonight, what the coaching staff tried to do. And I understand what Dagnall was doing, but it's just frustrating me trying to do that. But I don't like when he changes up, and when you turn around and Isaiah Joe, you change your starting lineup in the second half. Don't do that. I don't like that. But let's say this. We have one more game on this road trip. That is tomorrow night against the Kings. Okay? Friday night. I guess it's Friday night against the Kings. That's our last game, 9 o'clock. And let's say that what our team is doing and what we're trying to accomplish here. If you go 9-1 in your first 10 games, and you're playing that many games in that shorter period of time, and you can go 9-1 out of your first 10 games before you get some rest, because remember, we turn around, we're off until Tuesday when we play the Warriors at home, which I think we play the Warriors and Lakers on back-to-back nights. So it's nice that we get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off basically before we play Tuesday and Wednesday back-to-back Warriors, Lakers. So to me, when you look at if we can complete this and go 9 out of 10, that's a huge, huge thing, because I thought we were going to be 8-2. That's what I thought in the first 10 games when I saw this stretch that we were starting the season out. I thought we would lose a couple games. So if we could go 9-1 in the stretch, I'm really, really pleased. I did not think we were going to go 10-0. Nathan thought 10-0. We're at worst 9-1. And then at the craziest 8-2 in his mind. And it seems like he's going to be more on case than he. But remember, the Kings they're one of our toughest opponents. So are the Blazers. The Blazers, they play us tough, and then we blow them out. Or we play them tough, and barely beat them. It's one or the other. But it's beating them 16 straight times, they eventually were going to beat us. And being tired, and when I saw those guys playing, I'm like, you can't play Jang that many minutes. You can't play Carlson that many minutes. I mean, I understand you got to because you have no Chet. You have no Dort. You have no Caruso. And, of course, we haven't had J-Dub all the time, so that's beyond itself. But if you have all four of those, we beat the hell out of this team. Now, on a high side, on a good note, I noticed this the other day, and I told a lot of guys about this. This is a crazy stat to me, okay? And Hartenstein was missing bad shots too. Oh, I agree. He was missing shots too. I'm with you 100%. I just think like I said, I'm giving him a break because we were tired. We're tired, okay? I've done that. I've gone that stretch before. You're tired. You're mentally and physically exhausted. Hartenstein misses shots. How many times have you seen SJ miss that many 8-foot shots? Okay? Tired. The bros played a lot of minutes. Thank God we get, after Friday you get Saturday and Sunday and the Monday of rest before we go back-to-back with the Warriors and Lakers, which is going to be tough. So hopefully I'll be able to get tickets to go to those games, to watch those games play. I'm hoping. Cross the fingers. Anyway, here's the crazy stat. SGA, in 2023-24, he missed 5 games in the fourth quarter. He did not have to play the fourth quarter in 5 games in 23-24. In 24-25, he didn't have to play in the fourth quarter 14 times. Okay, and remember we had 66 total wins out of 84 wins. 66 of them were double digits. So of those 66 double-digit wins, 14 of them, he didn't even play the fourth quarter. And then this year, through 9 games, he hasn't played in the fourth quarter 3. And it was through 8 games, but now it's through 9 games. He's 3 of the 9 games we played this year, he has not played the fourth quarter. That shows you what kind of dominance we had. But at some point, you still got to have Caruso, you got to have Dort, you have to have Chet blocking shots. If you don't have that, you're in trouble, which is what happened to us tonight. But this is the flip side of that. Is think about we barely got beat. And the Blazers are no joke. They're a good, young, scrappy team. And, in my notes I said, sloppy game, but it plays to them for the Blazers. It goes their way. Because it wasn't organized, it wasn't laid out, and that's why, what do we have, 21 fouls between the starters? Of the 27 fouls, we had 21 of them from the starters. SGA with 5. When's the last time SGA had 5 fouls? How many times in his career has he had 5 fouls? So you can just see that the mental, the tired, we're just tired. I think tomorrow you fly, you probably, to me, you might stay the night or you just go ahead because it's late. You spend the night, or you get up, you fly by because it's probably an hour flight from Portland to L.A. or to Sacramento, hour and a half. You fly there, you get home, or you get to the hotel room, you pass the hell out. You wake up, you get your good breakfast, whatever, you shoot around a little bit, you go back and take your nap, or you get back in whatever routine that you have. Come back, do you shoot around, play the game, get the hell out of there, come back to Oklahoma City. And be in your own bed by Friday, sleep in your own bed Friday night. But you got to understand that with the Thunder and what we're going through right now and the amount of games that we're playing, it's hard. Let me see. I'm taking a break till Monday. This is looking like a bad week for basketball. It's not that bad. I mean, the fact we're 9-1, we're 8-1. I mean, come on, we're 8-1 at the first 10 games. You'd be a 9-1 and playing that many games in that. So what is that? That'll be 10 games in 16 days. That's a lot of damn basketball. But you do get a break before you have the Warriors and Lakers back to back. So that is a plus for what we're trying to do. Okay, so that is a plus. And I'm gonna say this: what we're doing tonight, what we're doing has been really good, and I'm very appreciative of our team and what's been happening with us. And then, because it's just hard, and for us to do what we're doing, to play that many games and still be 8-1, is impressive. Now you can tell tonight we were tired, and I think we'll be tired again against Sacramento on Friday. 1 day rest, and you got to go at it again. And they're going to be coming at us with the world champions. We're getting everybody's best shot, especially on the road, and it is what it is. So just think about this: 6 of your first 10 games are on the road. Okay, 6 of your first 10 games are on the road. You have back-to-backs twice during that period. Back-to-backs twice. So we're 3-1 in back-to-backs. In 4 games? So we're 3-1 in that back-to-back stretch. Not bad. Not bad at all. So that tells you something about our resilience. It tells you something about what we're doing as a team. It tells you something about our mental toughness. But tonight, end up going against a tough team, and let's give the Blazers their credit. They hit us in the mouth. We hit them in the mouth, and they came back, and we let them back in the game. And we always talk about that. You give away possessions, the team gets momentum. I don't care who you try to put in to stop it. It's too late. Once the team gets possession, or gets momentum, it's over. That's why a 20-point lead in the NBA is nothing. Remember, the Bulls came back and who did they beat the other night? The Sixers. Down 20-something and came back in the fourth quarter. Josh Giddey, by the way, let's take our hat off to our former Thunder player. Love me some Josh. Everybody's talking about his double-double or triple-double. Hell, he did that with us all the time. Great triple-double player. Let's thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. They'd love to take care of you. If you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit those guys up. They'd love to make sure you have clean drinking water. Or Grow Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, those are the people to holler at. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or go into one of the 5 locations, the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, or Route 66. YNB Eastwood is off the Parkway and 39th Expressway, or Route 66. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right in front of the Fairfield Hotel. Not the Fairmont, but the Fairfield, and actually the hospital there, right there in front of it. And then, of course, YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. I had to stop by there tonight. I needed some samples because I was out of my samples. I can't think of what the stuff's called, but it's so good that I wear every day. I don't wear my good stuff unless I'm dressed up, but it's so good. And as they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. So if you've got a girlfriend or you got a guy that you're dating or a girl that you're dating, however you want to look at it, if you're a female, hey, get some perfume there. Their perfume is fantastic. And then go over to the men's department, the East Dillard's, and pick up some perfume or cologne. And also, if you're a guy, pick up some perfume for your girl, because you should pick the best for your best. That's how I believe. Now, let's give the Trailblazers a little credit. They did what they needed to do tonight. Okay? Normally, teams that aren't very good, you beat them, you get down 20, they just go, oh, it's the champs, whatever, they're going to kick our butts. They didn't do that. They fight us hard every time. And we normally don't blow them out until the third quarter, into the third quarter, fourth quarter before we blow them out. But if we have Chet, if we have J-Dub, if we have Kaysen, if we have Dort, we win that game. If we have our normal, even without J-Dub, if we have Kaysen, Dort, and Chet, we win that game. But the bottom line is, just because you said that doesn't mean I'm going to take away from what the Blazers did. They hit us in the mouth. They stayed there, and that's what it is. You think they're winning against the Kings and Grizzlies? The Kings, that's when I let me pull the schedule up so I can talk about this, because this is, I believe that the Thunder were going to go, uh, and I said this in the beginning. I thought the Thunder would be 8-2, 7-3 at worst. Okay, so the games I thought we would lose, I thought we would lose to the Rockets. And then I thought we'd lose, or it'd be a tough game against the Mavs, so that's a toss-up. Toss-up against the Rockets, toss-up against the Mavs, and the two Kings games toss-up, and then the Clippers toss-up. So those were the ones I thought if we would lose 2 of those 4 games, I thought. The Rockets, the Mavs, the both Kings games, and the Clippers. Oh, I'm sorry, the Clippers, those 5 games. I thought we'd lose at least 2 of those 5. Okay, if 3 would be a bad deal, because game 1 against the Rockets, that was a toss-up in double overtime. It took us to beat them. But because we got our awards or trophies and rings and all that, I was worried. But I think we're winning against the Kings. And then we turn around and we play the Warriors. We play the Warriors Tuesday, and then the Lakers. So we do have a break here, because I was looking at our schedule, and I know we do have that break. So we play the Kings, and then you're right, we play the Grizzlies on Sunday. I forgot, at Memphis. Shit, I forgot about that. So once again, we're not. Ooh, I forgot about that. So we're not off until this schedule is brutal. This schedule is freaking brutal. It really is. 10 games in 16 days. 11 games in 18 days, 13 games in 21 days. That's crazy. Or 22 days. That's crazy. But yes, I do believe we'll beat Memphis. I think Memphis is just out of their, I don't have them on my schedule, on my deal, because I do 10 games at a time. But yeah, the Kings will be tough. But us coming off a loss, we don't usually lose back-to-back games, so I believe coming off a loss will help us, because, one, when SJ has a bad game, he always comes back and he busts somebody's ass the next game, always. So he had a bad game tonight, even though he had 35. He still had a bad game shooting-wise. He's missing shots he normally doesn't miss. So I think mentally he'll take care of that Friday. And now Sunday, the teams that SJ always struggles against. He struggles against the Houston Rockets. He struggles against Memphis Grizzlies for whatever reason. He struggles. He has a tough time against the Mavs, and he has a tough time against the Lakers for whatever reason. Now, he does have good games, don't get me wrong, but he struggles in his shooting percentages, especially against the Rockets and the Grizzlies for whatever reason. I don't understand the Grizzlies. The Rockets, I understand because of their length and Amen Thompson playing, and I get that, especially Dorian Finney-Smith. I understand that more than I do the Lakers. But it's just like mentally in his head, I don't know what it is. But yes, I think we will win. The Kings, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think because we lost, we usually bounce back really good after we lose a game, especially last year. I think we only had one time that we lost 2 games in a row last year. I think we only had 2-game winning streak once. Or 2-game losing streak one time during last year. So I see we always bounce back, and especially if SGA has a bad game, he comes back really and strokes. So I believe that he will have a very good game Friday night against the Kings. But the question is, do we get Dort back? Because remember, he got hit his shoulder. Do we get Caruso back? Are we getting Chet back? And it's a back-to-back night, so I understand why we're not playing Chet. So we may get Chet back, and having Chet tonight would have made a huge difference if we just had one of those guys, because they were attacking the paint like crazy from the simple fact you don't have a shot blocker in there to block their shot. So they could afford to come in there and attack us the way they were attacking us, which I would have done the exact same thing. So you get Chet back, you get Caruso back, even if you don't have Dort back. I think you can beat the Kings. I think it'll be a close game, but I think you beat the Kings. Then on Sunday, I think we go ahead and we beat the Grizzlies there in Memphis. By the way, if you haven't been to Memphis, go to the Peabody Hotel. Great restaurant downstairs. On top of that, they also get to watch the Ducks. I think it's noon and 6 or something like that, or 11:30 and 6 or whatever. But if you never watched the Ducks, go watch the Ducks at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis. Great place to watch. Anyway, so to answer your question, I think we can go 2-0, 1-1 at worst. But the thing is the schedule you have after that. That's what you got. That's when everything's going to happen because we'll be after Friday. We'll really discuss our schedule. But you have the next 10 games. You have at Memphis, the Warriors and Lakers at home, and then you're playing at the Hornets, which you should get that. Okay, so that's 4 games. Then you have at the Pelicans, which you should win that game. Then you have the Kings again, which three times in the first 15 games. I mean, what the hell is that about? And then you go to Utah, which without Walker Kessler, that's going to be a little easier of a game, I believe. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be Portland at home, and that's a revenge game, I believe. And then, of course, you have Minnesota, which is going to be a tough game. They'll be up for that. And then around that off, the Phoenix Suns at home. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have Mavericks at the Mavericks, the Lakers, and the Warriors at home. That's your first 3. Charlotte, which would be a nice break. That's 4. The Pelicans is 5. That's another nice break. The Kings, that's going to be a tough go. And then the Jazz, which you should win that, even though it's in Utah. And then, of course, you have the Blazers, which will be a revenge game for us coming here, so we'll take care of business there. Then you have Minnesota again here. Then you have Phoenix again here, and then we have to go back to Portland again. So of those next 10 games, I think we'll go. Why don't I just count it up? Okay, I think we can win 1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1. We'll either be 9-1 or 8-2 in our next 2 games, in our next 10 games. And as long as you keep up that pace of 9-1, 6-2, 9-1 and 8-2, if you can continue to do that all the way through, we talked about that today on the show as well. If you can continue to do that, that's going to make a huge impact on what you can do in the future as far as the 70 wins. Okay, because remember, there's 82 games, so you have 8 games. You have 8 weeks of 10 games, or 8 10-game sessions, however you want to look at it. And if you can go 8-2, that's 16 losses, which puts you 16 wins, which puts you back at where you were before. But if you can split that off where you're 9-1, 9-1, and then all of a sudden, what are you at? You're at 71 wins. 72-10 if you can pull that off. But there are 2 things are going to happen. One, we're going to have to be healthy. And 2, we got to get J-Dub back. Because you got to give SJ some rest, because if he don't get him rest, he's going to be exhausted by the time that it's over. But that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Excuse me. And by the way, congratulations to the Trailblazers. You finally got off your 16-game losing streak against us. Want to say I'm proud of our team, of the Thunder, how well they played. Playing that many games, that many days, you can just see we're exhausted. And for us to foul that much, I don't remember the last time we fouled that damn much. And they're tired. They're tired. And it's okay. It really is. So you got to take your hat off to our team and what we're trying to accomplish. Okay? And I understand what the coaching staff was trying to do. Even though I don't like what he does, I don't like his lineups. I don't stay with AJ. Why are you changing, putting Isaiah Joe? Because he's making some shots. Leave it alone. And that kind of hurt us. But then also, when you got to play Carlson, Jang, and Jay Will all at one time to start a quarter, that doesn't help at all. I agree with you. Pelicans should be an easy sweep. So that's why I said at the end of 20 games, we should be 17-3, 18-2. At the end of 20 games. And if we're 17-3, I'm not going to mind that. And then if you're into 40 games, you're 34-6. At the end of 60 games, you are 52-8. At the end of, that'd be the end of 60 games, 52-8. At the end of 80 games, you would be 70-11, 71-11 basically is where you would be. Or 70-12. that's where you would be at the end of that stretch, going and doing what you have to do. And I think the Thunder can achieve that. But like I said, got to get J-Dub back, and I know he's got the screw out, so that's another couple weeks that he's going to be gone. But I'm just appreciative of, of how hard our team works, because we're exhausted, and we're doing a lot of reaching, but let's give Portland credit. They're young, they're athletic, they get up and down the court, and they make things ugly, and it just like we lost, and it's okay. It's okay. Going 9-1 is nothing to be upset about, or 8-2 in your first 10 games. Playing that many games, that many days. And I think they made it tough on us, but, we are the second youngest team in the league. So you're still young, so it's okay. But it's not at the beginning of the season. It's this wear and tear if you have to continue to do this throughout the season. But you're going to have your lulls where you got to go there. And remember, Friday night is I believe Friday night is the first start of of the NBA Cup. So we need to win that game simply because that's the start of the NBA Cup. So I know we need to get that W, especially against the Kings, to start that out. So, because is that right? Let me see if I can pull that up really quick. Because I know I had that. Who was our NBA Cup teams that we were in the NBA Cup? Yes, the Kings. It's us, the Timberwolves, the Kings, the Suns, and the Jazz. So we have a pretty good thing. But anyway, I'm just liking what I see right now. But we got to get that Cup game on Friday to kind of get us going. That being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic night. I know it's 1:00 in the morning. Thank you guys for staying up this late, and I appreciate everything you do. And remember, like, subscribe, hit notifications in the future. 2025 World Champions.